I want to show you how to make roasted vegetables irresistible. I think when they're done right, they can be the star of the show. So I'm going to run you through a handful of tips and tricks on exactly how to do that. And then we're going to test it with the kids to see if it makes any difference at all. And we'll leave the judgment up to them.
6.5. 7.
Now this first one might be obvious, but cut your vegetables evenly, roughly the same size so they have the same cook time. Next up is to add fat. Now it doesn't need to be an obscene amount, but it's probably more than you think, which I'll show you in a second. But first you have to add the seasoning as well, so make sure you season generously with salt and pepper. And if you want to add garlic and herbs and other spices, you can go to town on that and do whatever you would like. And next you got to mix it up. And I think the hand is by far the superior tool for getting that done. And it's very important that everything is well coated, so make sure that the vegetables have a good coat of both oil and the seasoning. Start with less at first and then add more as needed. Then get everything onto a baking tray, and preferably one that conducts heat well, such as metal, and then space everything out. Give it lots of room to breathe. This allows for more circulation and prevents the vegetables from steaming, which will just make them mushy. Then into the hot oven they go, 425 degrees minimum. Now you don't have to stalk them like some creeper, but you do want to keep a gentle eye on them. Because you see, the cook time is going to vary, but the important part is that the vegetables get some color on them. You want to see those beautiful signs of caramelization. For me, this batch took about 20 minutes for that to happen. Then take your time to flip everything over, even individually if necessary. Give the vegetables the respect they deserve. It will make a big difference, I promise you. Now, while those are cooking a second round, use this time to make 2 different toppings for the vegetables. First up, into a warm pan, place a tablespoon of butter and 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Next, add a 1/4 cup of crushed walnuts and a 1/4 cup of raisins. Stir it up for just a bit, then add a pinch of salt, and continue stirring until the garlic is fragrant and the raisins have plumped up nicely. Then you're just going to place that into a ramekin, set that aside for later, and let's move on to the next one, which is going to be a yogurt dressing. Now I'll put all the ingredients for this in the description below, but the idea of this dressing is to add some creaminess, some acidity, some sweetness, some freshness of herbs, and that's really going to add a lot to the vegetables. But we'll find out for sure later. Now my batch here cooked for about 15 minutes for the second time, which is 35 minutes total, and we've achieved the caramelization on both sides of the vegetables that I really want. And the red onions turned out to be these tiny little pieces of crispy candy. They were so good. Now you could serve this up as is, and it would be good. But the question is, can we make it great? So I'm going to grab a plate, and I'm going to get the yogurt dressing and spread about a tablespoon of it over the base of the plate to make one thin layer. Now I'm just a home cook, so I don't know what this technique is called, but I think the idea is to have the vegetables have a consistent taste of the dressing, but not get overwhelmed by the flavor. And lastly, I'm going to top it with that garlicky walnut raisin butter. Now we'll find out if all of these techniques actually make a real difference or not. The tiny taste testers will be the ultimate judge, but first I'll go ahead and sample it.
That is really good. The vegetables are cooked perfectly. They're crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Then you have the tart freshness from the yogurt dip, and of course the crunch and the sweetness from the walnuts and raisins. You got a hint of maple in there as well. I could just eat this whole dish. This is so good. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. Now go make something irresistible for someone you love. All right, guys, I want you to try these and then rate them, okay? Start with the one that is just roasted vegetables. All right, show me your numbers, guys.
4 and 4.
Oh, you guys thought the same, okay. All right, try the one with the yogurt sauce.
Oh, that tastes good. It adds more flavor to the vegetables.
All right, let's rate this one.
6.5. 7.
You guys like that one better, all right. Yeah. And then the last one here with the yogurt sauce and the topping.
This just adds even more flavor. Like the raisins with the vegetables, it's like yum, yum, yum.
All right, last one.
10.
Whoa.
I really like it because the raisin is like so good, and especially the yogurt, it's like the best part from it, besides the raisins.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.